y'all doing today? Today we're going to be going over our concept map for our sports center. Basically, our sports center is a facility that we're trying to create that has an all-inclusive sports section that can kind of develop the youth in underdeveloped areas and underprivileged areas, so that we can kind of just have more athletes that are more developed and have better skills in the future. We got 4 subsections. We got sports, development, process, and funding. And so yeah, I just go over the first subsection, sports.
The first subsection is sports. And so for these sports, we have football, baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, tennis. All right. So for football, baseball, and soccer, and softball, we will all have like a turf field to that specific sport. And then for basketball, volleyball, and tennis, we will also have a specific court for each of those sports. For football, the Elite Talent Facility out of Georgia really helps develop like underprivileged youth in that area, and they just make great athletes. For baseball, we have the Miracle League in San Antonio. They have great sports complex for baseball that like really help the kids in that area develop. Soccer, we have Neymar Jr. Institute. Neymar, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so basically these are all sports specific facilities that kind of focusing on exactly football, specifically baseball, specifically soccer. But our complex is trying to be all inclusive. So that's why we have these facilities on here. But the Neymar Jr. Institute is like a perfect example as to like what our vision is of the facility. It's basically Neymar he runs a nonprofit facility that allows kids in the area or even not in the area to come and just participate, just build their skills and practice. But like we were saying, that's more soccer specific. So you continue on that.
All right, for basketball, we have the Tony Parker Adequate Academy. So Tony Parker developed an academy in France that helps develop the underprivileged kids over there. And he has a music, basketball, and whole entire school dedicated to just those kids. And so he really helps them out over there in the underdeveloped areas for France. For tennis, we have Fred Wells. He was a 65-year-old man that just really got into tennis at that age, and he helped making tennis courts all over and helping train underdeveloped or underprivileged kids in those areas. Move on.
Yeah, we can move on to the next one. All right. So the next one we have is development. This was another little subsection that we felt was key details in the sports center. Off of development, we have 4 subsections called mentors, staff, nutrition, and equipment. And mentors, when we're thinking about mentors, we're thinking about not only people that would just coach them as the trainers. We would think about people that could really motivate the kids and really see what sports could open, the kind of doors sports could open for them. So we have celeb appearances on there. And this all ties back to sports because they'll be sports specific. Like we could get famous people, Tony Parker, obviously, Neymar, just coming in and kind of giving some wisdom to the kids. That'd be a perfect thing. Next we have staff. So part of staff we have trainers, because obviously they'll be either volunteer or on the payroll, however we end up doing that. And then we have management, and we'll be a big part of management, but obviously a big complex like this is gonna need a lot of people running it on the daily. It's gonna need a lot of people involved. So yeah, that's management, a big important part of staff. Another part of development we have is nutrition. So we feel like a lot of times with young athletes or even athletes, in their later years, nutrition is a part that really holds them back, because a lot of people don't know how important eating right, staying hydrated, stuff like that is. So we feel like including nutrition into our complex is a good way to really develop the kids and give them knowledge on how important fueling the machine is when it comes to sports. So we have apart from that, we have experts, meal plans, and fluids, and we're just talking about nutrition experts, people that could come in and advise them not only, and if possible we'll have meal plans, and then we'll supply fluids at the facility. Next subsection we have off of development is equipment. So obviously equipment is going to be a big part tying all the way back to sports, because all of the equipment will be used for the different sports, the different sections of the whole facility. And we'll have weights, we'll have sports specific weights, training. Then we have sports balls, obviously talking about, you know, footballs, basketballs, tennis balls, volleyballs, whatever, you know, the sports may be. And then we have accessories. When we're talking about accessories, we're talking about everything from, you know, drills, cones for drills, you know, cleats, helmets, pads, stuff like, you know, tennis rackets, stuff like that. Stuff that the athletes may not have access to in another circumstance. So the next subsection we have is process. We feel when we're talking about process, we're talking about how everything will be played out. So first thing I'm gonna address is the operations. When you come down to operations, you have YMCA and recreational centers. We put these two on here because those are like two good examples of how like we want the complex to be run. Not really on a strict set of rules, how those two are kind of operated, but just how the feel, you know, that is everybody can come, and obviously those are big two big names in the field that we're working with. And then we have the hours that it's open, so that's just basically, you know, we'll determine that eventually. We have awards over here, weekly, monthly, yearly. We feel awards is a good way to keep the athletes engaged, the people, you know, that are consistently coming, consistently representing, you know, the center. That's a good way to keep them engaged and keep them excited about coming to the center and getting better and working and really trying to work out. Then we have transportation. We feel, when we were discussing, we feel transportation is a big reason as to why a lot of these kids don't have access to go to the park and play basketball, or to go to different areas and, you know, really work on their craft or what they love, what they're passionate about. So we feel we're able to provide transportation for them, that's a perfect way to open the doors and really get them to the center. And, you know, so we have buses in the bed for that. And then the last part is funding. I'm going to kick it over to Isaac. You can go ahead and discuss funding.
So for this sub-point for funding, we were thinking about the points we have is grants, investors, and fundraising. So I'll start off with grants. We have state and local and city grants. Really what we're thinking is to like help build the complex. It'll probably get paid for by taxpayer money, and that's probably the way it'll be able to get built. We also have investors, which are like the businesses and other philanthropists, because their donations would really help develop get all our equipment. So like putting their name somewhere in the complex would probably be what we would do to show off how they helped us. And the last one is fundraising, which are events. Like the events would be similar to like Adam Braun, like an opening day type thing that could help raise money for our complex. We also have games, so we were thinking about, you know, 7-on-7 football, basketball games, volleyball games, tennis games, softball and baseball, select teams that would help like raise awareness for our team and like maybe come back and get us new investors. And then the last one would be merchandise, because we figured, you know, we could be able to like sell some merchandise, shorts, pants, stuff like that.
Just to put everything back into the center, you know, branding's a big part of big complexes like this. You see posters and you see everything around, so I feel like branding, you know, making merchandise would be a good way to invest it all back in.
Also, another thing with merchandise would be, I mean, if we have the kids wear the logo of what we develop,
awareness, exposure.
Bring exposure to the company and really like help develop it and bring more awareness and just help it grow overall. All right,
Yes,
thank you.